LYON are kind of showing maybe some nerves or maybe just some sloppy play, whatever you want to call it. You know, a lot of pickoffs, you know, from either side, it felt like. You know, Saint getting picked off a lot before the fights, Isles getting picked off a lot before the fights, and we saw the same thing kind of happen to FURIA too.
And I do think that is kind of the... It feels like they're trying to shift the identity towards more what we're seeing in the meta, right? This faster gameplay and kind of adapt to that, but haven't quite got the nuts and bolts in the right place just yet. So we'll have to see if that is the same plan coming into game 3 now, or if they do end up going back towards what has been their style, more domestic, the slow pace, keep Isles in lane, try and keep control of the early stages, and if FURIA can kind of blow that plan out of the water again.
Yep, it can be difficult, you know, as you say, when you're trying to adapt to different styles, different metas, and also when you go international and you play against the top LPL and LCK teams, it can be really hard in scrims, right? And that can sometimes make people doubt the way that they're playing or change their styles. Why are we losing? Do we need to go to different champions? Do we need different play styles? Do we need to, you know, completely rethink how we're playing the game? And I feel like sometimes when people are shifting a lot of things, they can lose sight of the basics where they're normally really, really good. And I feel like that has happened to LYON at times in this series, where when I think of LYON, I think of them as being a team fight team. Their setups are always really good. And at times they've been pretty sloppy here, where they get caught, you know, pushing out a wave too deep right before the dragon, or they're not having vision or thinking about the flank. And those are some of the basics that I would not expect them to really be messing up. So maybe, you know, getting a little bit too focused on the more complex things and losing sight of some of the basics.
Going to be going towards that Lucian Milio in the bottom lane against the Varus, which we assume is going down towards Berserker, but it's still a very strong matchup. 66% win rate over the course of 3 games that we've seen from LYON and JoJo on this, so definitely something they are comfortable with, and I'm expecting to see them try and play heavily around this in the mid game.
And it's something that actually hasn't lost a single game so far at MSI. Every Lucian pick has won. Of course, you know, doesn't guarantee anything here. Berserker definitely very comfortable on the Varus as well, and I do think I am much more preferring a lot of the on-hit Varus that we're seeing these days instead of the lethality. Lethality obviously has just been nerfed so much. On-hit has been nerfed a little bit, but it still feels way more viable. That being said, it is going to be pretty tough, I feel like, to play into Lucian Milio if you are playing the on-hit, so I wonder if they might, you know, kind of decide, you know what, we'll just kind of sacrifice a little bit of the late game power and just try to get through the lane.
It also just depends a lot on like how much dive is on the opposite side, because sometimes it just feels like the on-hit Varus doesn't get a chance to auto-attack against some of the enemy comps, but okay, Xin for Inspired. Not what I was thinking, to be honest. Like, Inspired, I look more towards like the Xin Zhaos, the Nocturnes, the Wukongs. Xin hasn't even been played this split.
No, he hasn't at all, but it is something he's played, you know, a fair bit in his career. He does have 31 games on it, and I will say, it's not what I associate most of them, but what I do associate with Inspired is the meta. And if he thinks that it is in the meta, he's going to play it, he's going to play it well. So, you know, he definitely has had some really good games in his career on the Lee Sin. It is going to be Xin Zhao as the answer. But yeah, it's definitely not what he's been playing in recent years. But also in recent years, Lee Sin hasn't been in the meta. You know, in NA, really the only person playing it was Jose, and that's just because he's kind of built diff on it.
Yeah, he's very, very good at it.
Exactly. But as we see it getting, you know, more and more priority, he is going to be looking towards it.
So the Xin Zhao on the opposite side, kind of keep him with that, hey, we've got Enchanter bot, Xin Zhao good kind of combo. Especially as we talk about like Lucian Milio, very proactive in that bottom lane, can try and dash onto the Varus. So if you can get control there, opening up for Tatu to try and play aggressive into Inspired jungles, get in the face of this piece in, could be something that you look forward to. But already focus on towards the supports in the bottom lane.
The other thing I will say is we haven't seen it in a while, but Dhokla is a ranged top enjoyer. This guy could play the Varus top if it feels like it's a good matchup. They could actually, you know, swap that up towards top and be like, just kidding, we're actually picking, you know, Caitlyn. We're going to play heavy for the 2v2 against the Lucian. So I'll be curious to see where they do go. It is something that LYON used very, very effectively against Team Liquid way back in lock-in when Morgan was really on fire in his laning. LYON kind of made the judgment call that, hey, the only way Liquid win is if Morgan goes crazy in lane, so we're just going to pick Vayne, we're going to pick Varus, we're going to pick all these types of champs and just kind of lock you down in that 1v1.
A lot of focus towards all his champion pool here, though. Taking away the Alistair, the Podless already gone, now the Rakan as well. Starting to slim down the pool when it comes towards those engaged supports that have an okay time against the Milio, so I'm curious to see what the game plan is, because like things like Leona and that aren't always great against the Milio because of that kickback and then the ultimate to deny your own CC.
It is very true, yeah, and we already seen a couple of these engaged champs that he does like to go towards, you know, like the Rel and the Nico are gone as well, and so it is going to be interesting to see where they go. I honestly wouldn't be super shocked if they just did Enchanter plus carry bot lane and then the Varus goes top. But doing Varus top line is pretty spooky, so I'm not sure exactly where they're going to go. But yeah, I was right. It is going to be Varus top, so I think it's going to be Kog'Maw bot, and they just go Kog'Maw plus Enchanter. So this doesn't shock me because it's LYON and because this is the kind of thing that they would do. Yeah. But I do think it's something that could catch their opponents off guard, and the answer is going to be Olaf here. So it's going to be Olaf top into this Varus, and that is pretty spooky, I will say, because if you get caught by the Axis, you could absolutely get run down. I would expect Swifty's Rush, that kind of style from Dhokla, where you have to deal with the slows, given that it is Xin Zhao and Olaf. But I will say the early levels can be tough for Olaf, and because Varus top goes somewhat of a tanky build, maybe he can get into a spot where he can kind of just win out in that 1v1 anyway, because Varus can kind of just outstat a lot of top laners. Yeah, and I think this is kind of what LYON are relying on, right? You get that push in the top side, you get the push in the mid, and I've seen, at least from some of the matchups over in the LPL, that this Kog'Maw Lulu can outperform the Lucian Milio with a little bit of jungle help in the early stages. So I do think that's where the focus will be on trying to get this early push for the Kog'Maw Lulu and then trying to control that bottom side. Because if this comp starts to fall behind from LYON, that's where it gets spooky. Because there's a lot of people that are jumping on you from a lot of different directions, and you have a Leeson. Yep. Don't worry, the Leeson could kick the Olaf. Oh, never mind. Or the Wild. Oh no. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. So there are some scary champs on the other side for sure. But as you say, Kog Lulu. If you haven't seen this, recently, a lot of people think of Kog Lulu as, all right, you gotta get super late game. But Kog Lulu is actually a really powerful laning duo, but they have specific windows of power, right? During the W activation for the Kog'Maw, you can walk forward and take really powerful trades. Can be pretty nasty. And I will say, the late game damage here from LYON is incredibly strong. You are playing double AD carry plus Viktor with a Lulu. And yeah, you can't kick away the Olaf, but you can kick away other people. And you are going to win out as far as the DPS is concerned in a long fight. I like this angle from FURIA. They're always going to go for level 1s. I am also surprised to see Tutsz opt in towards the Sylas. Because at least in the LEC, we've seen this matchup a couple of times. And it has not gone well for the Sylas in any way, shape, or form. Like, the Viktor gets to poke you out. You end up opting in towards, like, I've seen some people even just ignore taking W. You just put more points into Q, like JoJo Pyun, and just absolutely destroy the Sylas every time they step up. I really wonder if they thought they had pinned LYON into picking some sort of bot lane that was going to give him good ults. Maybe, yeah. Because I feel like there's no good ults from this deal, right? Viktor ult is fine. Leeson ult is fine if you can get like a weird kick flash angle, but in general, there's not a lot of great ults. There's none of those S tier ultimates that you're really looking for. So I do wonder if they're like, okay, we've locked him down. He's going to have to play this, this, or this, and I would like to steal all of those. Which is also where the Alistar ban kind of surprised me, because you think, that's perfect. You go for the Alistar, we get the Unbreakable Will, but even in that regard, not wanting to give that one across. So I do think the early stages might be tough as Guigo hit level 2. Yeah, he hit level 2, and Dhokla might be forced to flash, but does hang on to it. It's just going to take an early recall here. And this is Berserker on Ziggs before today. In 4 combined games, he lost them all, got 1 kill. Today, 11 kills in the performance. And look at the damage per minute. Doubled it. Double, more than double. He was smurfing. Dhokla does have his flash, might have to use it. Getting very low here, is getting Guigo low as well. They're both playing double combat sums, and look at Inspired. He's running straight up towards top. He did 3 camps, base for a longsword. He is looking to kill off this Olaf, and the bait is there. Flash away from Guigo, but not before he gets slowed up. Now Dhokla likely to be able to get the push in here. Does have flash advantage, which is going to make it tough for Guigo to try to stop him from getting that wave in. Given that Dhokla could always flash an axe and probably would be the difference maker in a 1v1. A much needed gank on that top side as well from Inspired, like really starting to turn around, because I think Dhokla got lucky with the timing on his bone plating. Might have been in a lot worse trouble if Guigo hadn't cancelled the auto and didn't have that. Still though, now getting control, first Scuttle Crab on that top side. Should go the way of Tatu, though. Miles in a lot of trouble. Great polymorph keeps him safe just barely. Heavy trading down here on this bottom side. It is summoner advantage for FURIA as IU still has his barrier. Berserker and Isles have both used theirs. And the wave is actually horrendous for Dhokla. He couldn't get it in, only had 8 CS on his base here. And Guigo was able to actually freeze the wave. I kind of expected that Inspire would have helped him push in, but they were potentially nervous about the 2v2. Tatu had been clearing up towards that side. And now Guigo is going to have a really nice advantage. He is up about 3/4 of a level. There will be some CS for him to pick up, but if Dhokla dies on this timing, he's actually cooked in the 1v1. So Dhokla has to be patient and let this push to him.
And there's Inspired to try and help him push out, make sure that he's able to step up. But even, as you say, in the 2v2, I don't know if you win.
But the 2v2 is not going to be what he finds here, unfortunately, as Tatu completed the base. There's Dhokla flashing away, and Guigo thought he had him. Tatu based early, Inspired shows up again. Knowing the importance of this top lane, Inspired is saying, you think I'm just going to power farm in this game? No, sir.
That is exactly what I was about to say. Inspired everywhere, but Saint, oh, just that didn't hit the way you wanted to.
Yeah, the absconded Duck not able to find him. Tatu moving over. Inspired is getting up there as well. Tutsz can help potentially on this invade. Tatu has the red buff. They are the same level right now, exact same amount of camps taken. But Tatu's just running straight for bot. I mean, they know this. For sure they know this. And the wave is coming towards it, so it's not really that big of a deal. And at the end of the day, Tatu does kind of just lose some time. And Dhokla really bailed out by the fact that he got that first blood because he has no CS.
Yeah, he would have been in a disastrous spot. Tatu, though, does get into the bottom side, as you say. Will get double crabbed, but getting a good trade here.
Yeah, getting a good start of that trade. Berserker does pop the barrier. Well timed on the polymorph there from Isles, but Ayu and JoJo, they win in these short trades, and that's what they're looking for. You dash in, you proc the PTA, you get some good damage out there. But Berserker, every time that W is back up, is looking to get some damage down. They are getting whittled down in that 2v2, though. Ayu and JoJo playing it well so far.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference maker here. The fact you are getting that push and control there gives a lot more towards Tatu. Tutsz, once again.
It's just tough. I mean, Tutsz goes in, you go for the absconded Duck, but Saint just self-Ws, and if you stay in it, you're stunned. If you run away, you're getting hit as you run away, so it can be difficult. But Tatu's in the area. Inspired here again, as he knows they're closing in on those level 6 timings. Absconded Duck going to connect this time, and he has the stolen ulti. Saint holding onto the flash. The last tick won't get him. Oh my god, I cannot believe he walked back.
No.
I thought he was about to step back in and die. Inspired now trying to farm here for 6 as Isles going to be just holding on. Saint, I mean, this is greedy as greedy gets. He wants to stay around and get a little bit more gold, so I have to assume he needed a minion or 2 more to get an item completion.
Inspired did steal away that camp, though, because they spotted Tatu on the ward that was in the brush, so now finds him.
Yeah, it's going to be able to find him. Tatu just jumps right in. Dhokla's going to pop Ghost. They're going to flash in on Dhokla. Dhokla's in a world of trouble. They're trying to focus down Tatu. The first kill will go the way of LYON, but Guigo is 6. Inspired has to run. Going to be able to ward hop over, but he finds Tutsz and gets taken out. 2-2, dead even in gold. Nice move there from Tutsz, who won out in that 1v1, and that's what made the difference.
Yeah, and then we see here on the replay, is Tatu who immediately goes, right, Dhokla has to be the focus. Managed to just jump on him with that third auto attack to get the knock up. The win becomes lightning. There's a lot, and Tatu does go down, but Guigo kicking over to 6, having Tutsz there for support, absolutely huge on the play. And as you say, it's because Saint had the control, but it's Berserker!
Berserker in a lot of trouble there. The polymorph and the heal has to be used. Berserker, though, farming well. So if they can stay alive, they are scaling. And Ayu and JoJo, every time we look down here, they're winning the trades. But this is a dangerous moment right now as Berserker has no barrier and the wave is pushing away from them. Ayu positioning aggressively, both junglers moving down.
Ayu's so close to level 6 as well. Could immediately open up with the culling, and I think that's what LYON realized. Gonna look for the reset instead. Oh, it was a good side step there. As Saint investing vision on this bottom side as well, just a banana brush. They want to make sure they can spot out exactly where Tatu's going and what his plan is.
Yeah, both junglers just ticked over to 6 there. Tatu off of that scuttle, and Inspired does grab it off the Krugs. And Tatu is going to be starting up this dragon here. Saint is going to be able to sidestep the absconded Duck and maybe get a good trade here, which could give him an angle to move in. He gets stunned up there. Inspired coming in. Nice kick to disengage. Tatu secures the dragon, and Tutsz just kind of plays bodyguard, keeps him away there. It was pretty well played.
Has the TP to get back to lane as well, so not the end of the world. Should be able to pick up the majority of this CS and even help out Tatu, who Inspired is trying to invade on here for the Raptors.
Yeah, Inspired is moving in, knows that he has smite advantage, but also knows that it could be difficult because both top laners are moving down. Tutsz is TP'd back. Dhokla going to have to be pretty careful here, so instead they might just start up the grubs. Tatu still has no smite, of course. LYON might not know that, but they do know he at least used 1 charge over on that dragon.
Dhokla has no flash though, and I think that's what Guigo's eyeing up. Knows that he can just flash on top of him alongside Tatu, so Dhokla has to play very far back in this one as Saint teleports back to mid, but at least give Tatu time for one here.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be able to grab that, no problem. Dhokla staying around, trying to see if he can make him at least use a smite charge by threatening with the arrow. Of course, Tatu is not concerned about it. Berserker and Isles pushing in here. It is farm advantages in mid and bot there for LYON, but it looks like it is going to be all 3 grubs going the way of FURIA. They decide, you know what, let's not risk it here. You do have the Swifties on the Varus, but still, it's tough to just walk into an Olaf in a position like that, especially when he already has the early steel caps. If Saint is not there, you probably just don't have the damage.
Yeah, it's very, very scary, so I think it's the right call, but they are going for an invade on towards the Krugs. Inspired already stole them away on that last timer, so just going to try and look for the red buff here instead. Tatu should be able to come across in a second, though.
Yeah, but no smite for Tatu, so Inspired should be able to grab this no problem. And it is an E-smite to secure it, and Dhokla can head back up towards top to try to grab this wave. Guigo will be able to grab a plate for himself, so yeah, you lost the red buff, but Dhokla lost some minions, and you grabbed a plate, and it is going to be scary. Guigo, we're assuming, is going to go in towards Strivebreaker and just be looking to run down these 80 carries.
I think Inspired has been finding good opportunities to get back in towards that CS and experience because, oh, hang on.
We'll see if Dhokla's going to have to flash. I feel like that was way too early in the ult from Guigo, and it kind of just used the ult for a trade that he could have gotten even without it. I mean, he has Swifty boots and he's right beside his tower. I just don't think you're killing him.
Dhokla didn't even pop the Chains of Corruption, right? No. So now you just don't have that. And immediately I see Elysian beelining towards that top lane. It's like, oh, goody, goody.
Yeah, I mean, if you get hit by the Chains of Corruption into the Elysian ult, you're probably just dead. So a pretty big misstep there from Guigo, but he seems to know it. He's playing far back, and I'm not sure that they'd want to go for a dive. FURIA sending their bot lane up towards top here, and are going to be looking for the swap. Inspired will be spotted, and there's just no way you go for a dive. Yeah, he doesn't have ult, but he's still very healthy and has the W shield.
Yeah, had the Sundered Sky completed, so I was trying to use that timing window, but Dhokla actually costs.
Dhokla going to pop the Ghost. Guigo does as well. IU and JoJo are revealed, so you can see Isles moving up towards that top side. They do have the extra man on this side of the map for now. Saint just constantly whittling away onto Tutsz. You can see that Berserker is basing to match, so Berserker is going to be heading out on the map, heading up towards top. So they're sending the Varus down towards bot. The wave is going to bounce and push to him because they did get that push in from Berserker. So LYON playing the map well. I feel like LYON in this game are saying to themselves, we don't need to do anything. It's you guys that need to do something because, yeah, Olaf is scary, but at the same time, you get to 3 items and Olaf isn't ahead, you walk into Viktor, Varus, and Kog'Maw, and you're probably just dying. So, you know, it's not necessarily a guarantee by any means, even though you're CC immune, you're not damage immune.
Yeah, and there is going to be that leaps and bounds. And even the execute from the Lee Sin going to be doing work as you get towards that lower health. So you do have to be a little careful as Inspired again playing around Dhokla here. I'm not going to be able to find it. But as you say, like, I do think that LYON are playing well on like how they're rotating around the map, how they're keeping check. And again, I wanted to highlight Inspired because I think his invades have been good, finding timers to steal away like the red buff, and before that it was the Krugs, and then covering for that top lane play as well. Like you kind of touched on already. Hang on, Saint. Nah, it should be fine.
Yeah, we'll just be a trade back and forth there.
But you were saying like Inspired has been for so long been the I will farm. I'm like just gonna calculate the best, most efficient way to get through this jungle. But in this game, he's been shadowing incredibly well. He's been covering for Dhokla. He's been still finding those moments to steal away camps. And I think it speaks volumes to him as a jungler and what he's capable of.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something we talked about earlier as well, where Inspired, to me, he plays whatever he believes is the highest percentage chance to win the game. So if he's playing a champion that scales well and he thinks that, you know, it's just going to be a defensive game, then that's what he's going to do. If he feels the way to win the game is to farm 0 camps and chain gank, that's what he's going to do. If he feels like you're behind and they can do nothing but fight, he's going to flash on your head. And that's something that I really do respect, is his ability to kind of just identify what he believes to be the win con and stick to it, no matter what. So we'll see. Guigo does have the ult. He has no ghost, so we'll see if he wants to look for any sort of crazy play here. Dhokla, a little bit nervous, does have Inspired behind him, was just backing up knowing Tatu could be there. FURIA are going to be likely grabbing their second dragon here uncontested, which is nice, but it's not the end of the world.
It is also a weird lane assignment from FURIA because you've got ranged versus melee mid and top, so you're kind of getting Dhokla to farm for relatively free. You're not really pushing much advantage right in the mid, and it just means plates are being taken by Berserker in the top lane. So I do think they need to swap this up a little bit because, yeah, you can see Guigo not having the best of times here.
No, not at all. But Berserker does take a couple tower shots there, so he's put a little bit low. Guigo obviously wants to go back to base. Remember, he is playing Ghost Flash, as is Dhokla, so they will get the TP, but only from the roll quest, and it's not going to be, you know, with that big shield coming in, and it is a longer cooldown, right? So you do have to keep that in mind. So Guigo might not decide to just use it now. He does have the ulti. He is under tower, so I think he's going to be feeling comfortable to stay under here. Tatu just running straight on in. They're going to try to force a fight, it looks like, but the heal is popped there just for a bit of move speed, and Isles and Berserker sidestep. The wind becomes lightning, and they are chilling.
I started to roam up as well, but now Guigo not entirely sure where they are, but now get info, but...
Yeah, Dhokla, that Chains of Corruption was stolen away, and it's going to be thrown onto him by Tutsz. Tutsz trying to run away. Now as Saint is going to come in with the TP. Saint will push him back, but I don't think there's an angle for a kill, so we'll just be a reset. And maybe a little bit of farm lost mid, but not a big deal. Looks like Saint had already killed the wave. Inspired's just going to shove this one. It says, thank you very much. I will take that.
Such a nice jungler when he ends up taking the
Don't worry, bro, I got the wave.
Yeah, you're good, yeah. And I spotted the cannon for you, just in case you're going to miss that one. But still, yeah, I think, like, again, this is kind of showing line moving around the map well. Like, you TP down to the bottom lane, but you get to clear it out. Now you just set the Varus mid, and, like, constantly rotating with these ranged champions means that you never really end up in a particularly bad matchup, where it is more on FURIA to guarantee that they are getting, like, Dhokla versus Guigo and these kind of matchups, which they haven't quite been able to find just yet.
Lethal tempo obviously available for Berserker, and there's the Ardent Sensor. He has the Rage Blade, so if he has time to actually stand in fire, he is going to be doing a huge amount of damage. Generally, I feel like Kog'Maw, you don't always need to go full damage builds. You can kind of get a couple damage items and then just go tanky.
Yeah.
And I think especially that is true against a team like this. When you look at Olaf, Xin, and Sylas, they are going to be flashing on your head and trying to take you down. So going that more defensive build, I think, makes a lot of sense here. As FURIA trying to leverage their ability on these objectives, as we didn't even see why Guigo popped that, but he didn't do a point of damage to Dhokla during his ult, and now LYON might want to try to take the fight here. The Herald, though, already has been claimed, and I feel like LYON decide discretion is the better part of valor. Tutsz looking for a fight here onto Saint. Flashes out of that stun, and Saint might be forced to use his own flash. He is going to have to. It's a trade of ultis, a trade of flashes, and now it's a battle on the top side as Tatu pops the Crescent Guard. Will have to just run away. Berserker loses his flash, though, as does Saint. So LYON could be in trouble at this next dragon fight, which would mean FURIA, if they just take it, that's sole point for them.
Yeah, you can see LYON wanted to try and contest, but it was very hard for Dhokla to try and move into position, as Guigo was going to be able to constantly contest him on taking spaces.
Oh. Look at the spacing there from Berserker with the W active. He is not to be messed with. Takes a couple plates and deals a lot of damage there. As if you don't have the cooldowns to threaten him, really all he needs is that one basic ability to be up, and he gets buffed up by Isles, and he can definitely threaten you.
Yeah, and especially with the way that Guigo's been playing, I'm not as convinced about his timings on these ultimates. He called it out just before the start of that fight as well. If you're not getting value from that ultimate, there is no real threat on towards Berserker. Like, he can definitely play back. You've got, like, Polymorph for Tutsz or for Tatu as they start to go in. Like, a lot of that kill the Kog'Maw relies on this Olaf. And if Guigo now is going to be put further behind here, that's not ideal for FURIA.
Yeah, Guigo does have the ulti back. We'll know Inspired has the exact timing. He's going to pop it, but Inspired just ward hops back out. You're not going to kill him in a position like that. So back-to-back ults, no value.
Exactly, and that's the value for Dhokla, right? Because now he's got significantly more safety. He doesn't have the Chains of Corruption for next little bit, but still, it's going to be FURIA now trying to respond to the tier 1 taken on the top side. They should be able to get this on the bot lane, but now push on mid as well. There's a lot of movement here from LYON.
Yeah, I mean, that is tough. LYON are just choking them out. The kills are even. The gold is very much in LYON's favor, though. Up over 2,000 gold now at this point after they took that first tower on top side. Dhokla grabbing that gold for himself. Finally, the Strikebreaker has been completed there by Guigo, but I worry for FURIA. It feels like a lot is going to come down to this next fight, and I just wonder, do LYON stake their game on this next fight? Because if you show up to the fight, your carries die, and you give soul point, that's pretty bad. But also, giving soul point for free is kind of scary too, but you don't have flash on Saint or Berserker. Yeah,
especially a Mountain Dragon as well. Like, a Mountain Soul is so valuable for FURIA, but yeah, I think it's a hard call at this stage. If you had the second item completed for Berserker, I think it'd be all hands on deck, but still just a little bit away makes this tough.
And maybe they'll just try to delay it, right? They'll just try to stay around, push in waves, threaten towers. Berserker, of course, did go for the steel cap, so took the defensive option there. And LYON are first to the scene. You can see Tutsz moving up from bot lane, trying to get behind them. Tatu just going to go in immediately onto Saint, but pops the Crescent Guard. He's getting nothing done. He's going to get kicked back to the team, and Tatu has sold his team down the river. Went in way too early on that one.
Well, there's your answer, Azale. LYON able to get the pick and now get that dragon without too much of a fight. FURIA overextending towards that river and punished, but Tutsz wants to see if he can get more. Has that kick, but spotted on a ward.
Berserker, no flash. Tutsz does not have one either, though. Great sidestep for Miles, and that's going to mean nothing doing for FURIA. Because I'm not sure what Tatu saw. I mean, he just jumped on stage immediately, but your Lucian is mid, your Sylas is still walking from bot, the Olaf's not even there. That was a risky move. Maybe he didn't think Inspired was there. We'd have to see it from his vision, kind of understand why he thought that was a good play to go for, but once he jumped in, Inspired says, thank you very much, kicks him back into the team, free kill, free dragon.
And that kind of solves that problem, right? Because now you're getting towards your second item as Berserker, just completed there on the reset. You're now in a much stronger position. Like, it now becomes difficult for FURIA to try and find these key moments. Because I think this was your time. Like, Lucian quite strong at the moment. Tutsz was going to have a decent performance. And even having like a Battle Herald to access the backline would have been the perfect scenario. So as long now you're able to back it up, I think you're happy now as long.
Absolutely, yeah. Their flashes are going to be back up before they have to fight. Navori is now done for Berserker, which we talk about those windows of power when you do have the W ready. Well, now it's kind of always ready, right? As long as you're hitting, you're going to have perma W with that Navori pretty much. And you can see the Rocket Pelt done for Saint, which again, I think some defensive itemization makes a lot of sense there when there are so many melee champions here. And kiting out, you know, just even dodging one axe from an Olaf can make the difference as Ayu goes forward, but he does not like this trade. Ayu is just getting roasted by Berserker. Inspired on the side, has to use the kick for the disengage. Tutsz comes in, double TB coming in here from LYON. They want to fight. Ayu is out of this already. Tatu is going in. In comes Guigo from the top side, though, and Berserker is in trouble. Berserker still has no flash, but they have a backup AD carry. Dhokla is here to play as Saint picks up the double. LYON win the fight here. Ayu was pushed out, but FURIA pushed for the fight regardless, knowing there was no flash on Berserker. They do punish him, but Baron is up, and Varus is more than enough.
FURIA thought they had their moment, but they just couldn't do it. LYON still, with so much damage in the tank, burst through the health bars of FURIA. And that Baron is going to do so much work for LYON. Although, Herald, Shelly's just going to say hi mid lane. It's fine. She's all good.
She's chilling. I mean, it's not the fastest Baron in the world because it is a top lane Varus. It's not on hit, but they do knock it down, and they're going to be able to defend the mid lane tower as well. They get the charge in, but it's starting to feel like FURIA's time in this game is running out. You're playing against a team that has so much damage, so much consistent damage, in fact, as they try to jump on Inspired.
Yeah. I mean, immediate kick away. And it's the Lee Sin is not the person that you want to be trying to jump on in these sorts of situations because he has that mobility. And FURIA, to give them a credit, I think do a fine job of finding Berserker on this mid wave. But you just have so much left in the tank afterwards. Saint in a good position, Dhokla happy to follow up. And Isles, doesn't really matter who he's putting that speed up onto, whether it's the Kog'Maw or the Varus, you're getting value.
Like I said, backup AD carry. You can't trust them to position well, that's why you bring two. And Saint going to be pushing Tutsz back, who is not having any fun in this matchup now. We'll see if he can try to turn it around. Stolen ulti, big chunk of burst onto Saint. Saint trying to kite this one out, but Inspired is coming in behind him as Berserker flash away there from Saint. Nicely done. Is going to buy the time here to finish it off. It's a rampage for Saint.
Tutsz threw out the chain, but ended up connecting it onto a minion by accident and ends up setting himself back away from Saint. He's trying his damnedest to make the plays happen, but it's now LYON in that top side getting a bit more.
It's the gold lead in action. You can bribe minions when you got the 5K gold lead.
Just slide them €5, yeah.
Slide them a $5. Pick that Abscondum duck for me, buddy.
Yeah. What a homie. Yeah. And for a $5 as well, Chase.
Yeah. In this economy, too.
I know, yeah.
Wow. Crazy stuff. Inspired looking to try to wrap around here onto Tatu. Does have a nice sidestep there on the Sonic Wave. You can see he's just going to go in. They're just going to try to send it. Saint, though, not really in trouble, and Tatu is. Ayu going to have to flash away. The Sonic Wave connects, and that means he is dead, as is JoJo. Guigo arrives, but where are you going to go? It's a 1v4. He pops the ulti. He runs straight in, and he finds his way back to the grave. Tutsz going in. It's a triple already for Dhokla. The CC is there. The safeguard is there.
He's alive!
It's another kill, and Dhokla refuses to fall. Quadra for the Varus, and surely LYON just won the game.
Big Dokes has just enough left to keep himself alive. LYON are absolutely destroying FURIA in this game 3.
They are crushing him, and the Nexus won't fall just yet, but it is now an 11,000 gold lead here for LYON. As Tatu just feels like we just have to force.
Yeah, and you kind of have to. You're trying to get in position, but Inspired hopping over the wall completely removes the Lucian from play. And with the damage that is coming out from Dhokla and Saint, there is nowhere left to run. And you can see here the problem we were talking about. Olaf, not immune to damage, immediately falls. Tutsz tries to make it work, but the heal from Isles, the shield from the Lee Sin, and a happy Quadra for the top laner.
Yeah, that is tough. I mean, the Lulu peel, shields, the safeguard, everything needed there, and does keep him alive. Saint gonna get jumped on already, but Saint is level 16. Flash forward from Tatu. They are gonna full send it. They know they need to get something done. Berserker is here on the side. The Crescent Guard gonna buy a little bit of time. Berserker has that lethal tempo stack. Guigo gonna look for him, but overcomes Isles, overcomes Inspired, and Guigo has no chance. He is down, but they shut down Saint on the other side. Now they're going to try to run for it. Chains of Corruption does connect. It's going to be stolen back by Tutsz. Inspired in the backline, a 3-man Wild Growth. Tatu on a Berserker, but he can't win that fight. Inspired once more, and he's going to get it. A Quadra for Dhokla, and now a Quadra for Inspired as he plants his flag on the corpses of FURIA, and they march on the base.
LYON continue to walk forward. They continue to click heads, and they are falling everywhere for FURIA. They look so confident in this position. With Inspired having the backup of the Lulu, gets the Quadra kill. It looks so beautiful.
It's a beautiful Wild Growth there. Nice combo from Isles, and Inspired jumped in the middle of the team. 3-man Wild Growth. It's a bounce house for FURIA. Still, they will have at least one more fight, but 15,000 gold. The Seeker is now done there for Saint. Another item completed for Berserker just means they're that much harder to take down. Seekers as well on Dhokla. The options are few and far between for FURIA.
And the Terminus for Berserker just means he's going to be that much tankier as well, that much more difficult to take down. When you were already struggling to deal with the Kog'Maw, it only gets worse from here. FURIA, to give them their credit, have been trying desperately to find these moments, to find these windows to punish LYON, but it has always come back to bite them. And it looks like LYON may just be in a position to get one back for that America's Cup.
LYON with their best game in the series by far. This one very controlled, really playing kind of that style that you expect from LYON. Play the map, play towards that win condition. Isles caught out here, will get shut down. Inspired, not going to go in for it though. They will play slow. And there's nothing on the map for FURIA to gain here. That's the problem. You'd want to full send it. Any chance here, even a 5%er is probably better than you're going to get. But there's just nothing for them to go for. And now, Berserker moving down. They're going to try to look for Guigo, who is very far up. No flash, no ghost. Don't think he has much of a chance to get out of this one. And now he gets the bad news as there's Inspired. There's Berserker. Pops the ulti, tries to run for it. The Axe buying a little bit of time, but Inspired just taxis in on top of him. That ultimate has expired as has his time alive. Inspired dominating in this one, 6-1 and 9, as IU is just trying to clear the waves and buy some time. Tutsz is pushing for an objective bounty top, but LYON are looking to seal the deal.
Inspired still has that kick available, so one Sonic Wave, maybe the death of IU. You have to be very careful as the FURIA AD carry. But LYON happy to take these structures in the face of FURIA.
They absolutely are. Tutsz TP'd back to the base. There's the kick flash on IU, but it's not going to get much of anything at all. IU was able to dash back out to safety. Berserker, though, pushing up. Tatu hit low. Tutsz goes in, and Tutsz could be in some trouble trying to retreat back there. Is going to be cleansed by the Breath of Life from JoJo. Tutsz running. He needs to hold on. He can do it for now. The piercing arrow doesn't finish him. Saint, though, gets another man low. IU and Tutsz are bleeding out in the fountain. FURIA's base is dying. They got to go now if it's ever going to happen. The Zonias will buy a little bit of time, but Tutsz is going to fall as soon as he comes out. Guigo pulls the trigger, goes for Berserker, is knocked out of the sky. Back to the grave, and they can only watch as the Nexus will surely fall. It's fish in a barrel. LYON add insult to injury. Revenge for America's Cup is oh so sweet. It's a 3-0 sweep for LYON.
First 2 games of this series were close, were hard fought, where LYON were pushed to their limit. But game 3 was just a sound off of a victory triumph for the North American representatives.
The best for last there from LYON. Their best performance by far in this final game. Felt like Inspired was everywhere he needed to be to cover his lanes, to buy them the time to scale. And scale they did. They performed well in the fights. Sane and Berserker with some really impressive games, and the flexibility in the draft, I think, showcased there from LYON as well.